Red Dust, Part 4, Visitors. Chapter 15, Parallel Orbits.
When the rogue planet fell into a parallel orbit with Earth around the Sun, every equation pointed to catastrophe. The rogue planet was roughly the size of Earth, and it settled exactly twice the distance from the Earth to the Moon, or about 770,000 kilometers away. Too close for comfort and too massive for stability. Within hours, simulation networks across the globe reached the same conclusion. The NASA alert read, "Binary system forms with Earth as one of the planets." Scientists predicted that the two planets would orbit their shared center of mass every 55 days, dragging the Moon into chaos and possibly fragmenting it into an asteroid belt around the Earth, or perhaps actually ejecting the Moon out of its orbit into space. But even if the Moon remained intact and in orbit, the rogue planet's effects on the world would be merciless. Tidal forces on Earth projected to be 10 times stronger than with only the Moon, enough to raise tides the height of small skyscrapers. The length of Earth's day expected to increase, throwing off global clocks and regular seasons of winter, spring, summer, and fall. Tidal heating would stir magma flows beneath the crust. Volcanoes would erupt in places that hadn't seen one in a million years. Satellites would spiral out of orbit, leaving navigation constellations torn apart by the fluctuating gravity fields. Based on consensus predictions from multiple models, said Dr. Kofi Banerjee of Caltech during a live broadcast, the upcoming alignment of the rogue planet and Moon could lift the oceans from their basins. But then, nothing happened. Oceans rose and fell as usual. GPS networks held. Seismographs went quiet instead of screaming. The rogue hung in space, silent, precise, and utterly disobedient to Newton's laws. At the Lunar Dynamics Observatory, Dr. Manova Kai stared at the telemetry. The gravitational field wasn't constant. It shifted, like something alive, tuning itself to counterbalance the Moon's motion. Every time the Moon drifts toward Earth, she explained at a midnight conference call with fellow astronomers, the rogue object leans in, adjusting its pull just enough to swerve the Moon out of its present orbit and keep the Moon in a perfect figure-8 pattern around both planets. Let me emphasize this point. The Moon is now in a perfect figure-8 pattern around both planets. It's like the rogue planet knows the dance steps before the music starts. No natural planet could do that. Gravity is a constant, it doesn't change. But here, it is as if the rogue planet has a will. We are looking, said Dr. Kai, at an object that is not obeying mass energy conservation in the classical sense. It's not exerting gravity, it's projecting gravity, artificially. The conference call digressed into chaos. The Moon's survival now made sense. The vessel had wrapped the entire Earth-Moon system in a controlled gravitational lattice, redistributing force only when and where needed. As the truth sank in, humanity's terror dissolved into something stranger, bewildered relief. Every talk show and scientific forum replayed the same explanation. If the rogue's gravity were normal, one anchor summarized as if he was an expert, Earth and this object would orbit each other like twin marbles on a string. The Moon would become a crazed casualty in a chaotic cosmic dance. The combined gravitational force would cause global floods, earthquakes, volcanoes, and tides tall enough to drown cities. The fact that none of that has happened has scientists completely baffled. The Martian colonies confirmed the anomaly and added that their instruments detected phase-shifted gravitational waves, tiny oscillations that behaved more like signals than natural gravity. "It is broadcasting through curvature," said a Martian physicist. "Gravitational waves shaped like code." Then came the pattern, a rhythmic modulation across all bands, radio, X-ray, even the subtle tug on space-time itself, perfectly synchronized with the Moon's new figure-8 orbit. To the lay observer, it was just a looping symbol in the night sky. To scientists, however, it was something far more unnerving, a deliberate message, carved into the mathematics of motion itself. Whoever was inside the road planet wasn't hiding anymore. No, they were writing with gravity to see if mankind could decipher their message, a message intended to communicate absolute power over both Martian and Earth's inhabitants. A message that said, "We control your destiny." To many, relief washed over them like a baptism. Earth had not been torn apart. But to others who were in the know, any relief was replaced with absolute terror. Here was an interstellar visitor so immense that it created its own geology, and so patient that it carried its disguise across interstellar space to wherever it chose. If whoever made this vessel could build a planet that could control the moon, it could do just about anything. So why had it chosen to orbit beside Earth? And why did they keep us alive? From all appearances, the intent behind Earth's rockets and missiles was misunderstood. If just only, we hadn't sent those atomic bombs. Most news anchors reflected naivety. The moon is safe, they said. Life continues. But in observatories and Martian domes, astroscientists stared at the new world's surface. Those craters that might not be craters, those ridges that could be apertures, and wondered what lay beneath. The planet ship rotated slowly on its north-south axis, while its continents of forged stone glinted in the sunlight, and somewhere inside that shell, something patiently watched.